This rally is a response to President Trump's announcement of ending TPS, which stands for Temporary Protected Status, which is a designation that is given to immigrants that come to the United States when for either a war or natural disaster. So the Salvadorian community is just one of many communities that have been affected by the termination of temporary protected status. There are a lot of countries who recently have had their protection status terminated. What do you think the Trump administration is going to do next?
I mean, it's not a secret what they've been doing. It's a matter of just being united, being prepared. They're going to continue attacking the immigrant community.
Part of casting in these votes has to do with the security measures that take place. I'm here with Sergeant Steve Mills, who's going to talk to us a little bit about the process of getting these ballots counted and secured to the place they need to be. Steve, can you tell us a little bit about the process that your team plays in getting these votes out?
Yes, we work at the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department Aero Bureau. We have a fleet of helicopters that we use in patrol, and we have about 6 or 7 helicopters tonight.
Here, some of the helicopters approaching right now. It may be a few minutes before they actually land. Again, we'll have coverage of this and footage of this for you guys to check out, hopefully in the next shot. But again, a big process that takes place here in Norwalk to get all of these votes counted and secured.
Proposition 6 would let voters decide if they want to pay less at the gas pump, but at what cost? Reporter Mirian Fuentes spoke to advocates on both sides of the issue.
Like most drivers, Wendy Mendez wishes she didn't have to spend so much money on gas.
I would say that a third of my check goes to paying gas, but what can I say? I have to go to school.
Californians pay the highest gas prices in the nation, but Mendez says while she wishes gas was cheaper, she doesn't mind paying extra if it keeps roads safe.
I can pay more if it helps us get better streets.
Voters across the state will weigh in by voting on Proposition 6. Prop 6, known as the gas tax repeal, would eliminate a law passed last year that raised taxes and vehicle registration fees. That money was targeted for road repairs and other transportation funds.
A lot of people out there that are fed up and frustrated, and they're mad as hell, and they're not going to take it anymore.
San Diego City Councilman Carl DeMaio has been holding rallies across the state. His goal? To encourage voters to support Prop 6. He and other advocates say the gas tax is a burden on working-class families.
But it will provide working families with the relief they need for their bills at a time when cost of living is too high.
San Dimas resident Wendy Gish supports eliminating the tax because she says living in California is expensive enough.
Because no one's going to be able to afford to live in this state if we continue with these crazy taxes.
Opponents say striking down the gas tax means less money for much-needed road repairs, such as this one.
You want kids to be able to get to school safely when they're walking. You want commuters to have safe, smooth rides so that their cars aren't being damaged by potholes, that the lines are visible for safer driving.
Prop 6 would also require voters to approve any future gas and transportation-related taxes. For Annenberg TV News, this is Mirian Fuentes.
A new study finds a link between social media and mental health disorders among young adults. Reporter Mirian Fuentes shows us how students can suffer consequences from being attached to their phones.
It's no secret that we live in a social media world. No one knows this better than today's young adults. For this sophomore, social media is more than a platform. It's a tool.
I sell a lot of my artworks or digital prints on there, and it's a way of connecting with other creatives.
A new study by the American Psychological Association suggests there's a link between social media and the rise of mental health issues. The study found some alarming results. Young adults experiencing depression symptoms increased 52% from 2005 to 2017. And young adults with suicidal thoughts increased 47% from 2008 to 2017.
Especially for stuff like Instagram, there are probably mental health issues related to ego and getting a lot attention and instant gratification. And then Facebook just seems like it is depressing.
Social media has become really, really common. We don't really take that much consideration into its overall effects.
While social media is a big part of our lives, experts say it's important to limit the amount of time we spend online. To make sure that we have a social life
beyond our phones, and also not to believe everything others post.
So one thing that we know about human beings is that human beings compare ourselves to others. And social media has amplified that tendency. There's constant social comparison opportunities.
But social media is not the only factor. The study also found lack of sleep contributes to the rise in mental health problems. For Annenberg Media, this is Mirian Fuentes.
South LA residents are welcoming new police officers to their neighborhood through a new community partnership. Reporter Mirian Fuentes spoke with residents and law enforcement about what they hope to accomplish.
Children played a game of soccer with the newest members of this South Park neighborhood. 10 police officers, part of the Community Safety Partnership, will be based at the South Park Recreational Center. The hope is to reduce crime and gang violence and gain residents' trust.
More cops in the area. You know, historically, that has not really been a positive sign. But I know that all of us here share the same vision for this park, and that is to make it a safe place where our families can build memories, our children can run freely, and the community gather.
South Park is an area where more than a third of residents are under 18. Sherry Green raised her children and grandchildren in the neighborhood and is excited for the program.
It's wonderful. I think our park is going to be much better than it has been. It's an environment that our kids can come and enjoy with no problem, no hesitation.
Green remembers when more officers meant more trouble for the community.
Harassing the kids, the young men up here in the park that have always harassed them for no apparent reason.
Officers in the program are diverse, from the community, and were selected with the input from residents.
Excited to start. I'm very excited to help out the community where I lived in. As kids, I remember we didn't have any a nice park to play with, or where the gang members weren't even trying to harass us.
The Community Safety Partnership, which began in 2011, can be found in other communities across Los Angeles. Programming in South Park will begin next fall. For Annenberg Media, this is Mirian Fuentes.
Ahora pasamos con nuestra reportera Mirian Fuentes, quien se encuentra en el estudio con una abogada de inmigración. Adelante, Mirian.
Me encuentro con la abogada Jean Reese, quien es abogada en el Centro de Inmigración de la Escuela de Leyes de la Universidad del Sur de California. Primero que nada, muchas gracias por acompañarnos. ¿Qué consejo legal le daría a la comunidad centroamericana que es afectada por TPS?
Mi primer consejo es para consultar con un abogado y un abogado de bien calidad, porque es posible que las circunstancias personales se han cambiado entre este tiempo largo en los Estados Unidos, y es posible que hay otras opciones o avenidas para arreglar el estatus migratorios.
Y segunda pregunta, ¿qué está haciendo la Escuela de Leyes ahorita para ayudar a los que tienen TPS?
Bueno, estamos ofreciendo consultas gratis a empleados de USC, a estudiantes y también a la familia de empleados y estudiantes para evaluar todo de la historia de inmigración, de sus circunstancias personales, para ver si hay una manera para arreglar el estatus. También está ofreciendo peticiones que se llama FOIA, y si hay personas que no saben totalmente qué fue lo que pasó en la historia acerca de la inmigración, es una manera para peticionar información que tiene el gobierno sobre su estatus, y es una manera mejor para saber las opciones y toda la información acerca de sus circunstancias personales.
Muchísimas gracias por los consejos legales, y ahora regresemos con Claudia.
For it to be like, oh, the Nicaraguan people are uprising unarmed against a dictatorship, it just made me realize yesterday, on the day of independence, that this country is making history. That's the country that my family comes from, the country that I get to say, I was there. I I'm not born there, of course, and the only thing that I've known from Nicaragua when it comes to dictatorships and history is through my family. Since the uprising, I decided, and I made it clear on my social media, I'm gonna utilize this to advocate for Nicaragua, and since then I have, you know. Because it's such a political arena, a lot of people kind of shy away and they don't want to say anything. And that indifference is what bugs me. And I think there's still a lot of indifference within like the Latino community.
Bonita in Spanish is beautiful, and I'm a firm believer that women are the most beautiful when they do what they love. I am the founder of the Latina lifestyle and apparel brand, Viva la Bonita. It started off as just an apparel brand with cool t-shirts and hoodies with the name Bonita. I would say through starting a t-shirt brand, it has opened so many doors for the Viva la Bonita brand as a whole, where I feel like now it's become a platform for the Latina community. First and foremost, I think Latinos were underrepresented. Specifically with the Latino community, we've always been represented to be one thing. Like what I wanted to do with, you know, the Viva la Bonita brand was almost kind of just change things up. We're all so different. When it comes to our fashion, we express ourselves differently. The aesthetic of Viva la Bonita is women, it's being a woman, you know, and I don't really think that that looks a certain way. I think what really helps the aesthetic of Viva la Bonita is our message. Brand is women empowerment. It's catered to the Latina lifestyle. Like, it's made to make women feel beautiful. It's not just the word pretty, you know, it's a lifestyle, it's a mindset, you know, and I do like to reference roses a lot. Because I want women to bloom, because the roses are in bloom all year long, and I want women to understand that we're not seasonal, you know, we are a huge part of this world, and we make the world a beautiful place. Keep pushing, keep rising, wake up every single day, you know, create something, make yourself feel good every day, because all those things that you do to make you feel good and put you in a mental space and be genuinely confident in yourself, chip away at the concrete, and eventually you're gonna break through.
Vine a Estados Unidos porque tenía un hijo pequeño y no tenía trabajo y necesitaba buscar una vida mejor para él. Me perdí mucho ahora sí que su infancia y muchas cosas de la vida, porque ahora mi hijo ya no me mira como su madre, me mira como si fuéramos dos hermanos. Siempre me dice que soy su hermana mayor. Me hubiera gustado estar cuando dio su primer paso, cuando fue su primer cumpleaños, cuando fue por primera vez al kinder, cuando lo llevaron por primera vez a la escuela. Me perdí muchas cosas. Antes le tenía muchos celos a mi mamá porque decía, ¿cómo es posible que ella dice que ella es su mamá cuando pues yo lo traje al mundo? Yo estoy sufriendo todo lo que se sufre por tenerlo lejos. Pero ahora las cosas han cambiado, tal vez yo he madurado más, tal vez él está creciendo o no sé qué, o estoy empezando a aceptar las cosas como son y total, si lo quieren es porque se la ha sabido ganar. Tenemos comunicación, platicamos mucho, pero pues no siempre es lo mismo porque siempre se extraña mucho. Es una vida total, nunca me la imaginé yo así. es algo completamente diferente a lo que yo soñaba. Y sé que me tengo que quedar un poquito porque mi hijo quiere estudiar y si ya lo dejé tanto tiempo, ahora sí que lejos de mí, mejor otro poquito más para que estudie lo que lo haga ahora sí que un hombre de bien a futuro. Si yo hubiera pensado las cosas más antes de venirme, no haya tomado esa decisión porque mi hijo vive ahora sí que tal vez una vida mejor económicamente, pero estamos lejos. Entonces yo creo que en ese momento no lo pensé y haya habido otras formas de sacarlo adelante.